What specific problem does your method address in understanding attention heads in large language models?
Our method addresses the challenge of understanding the specific functions and collaborative mechanisms of attention heads within large language models, LLMs, by categorizing them based on a novel four-stage framework derived from human cognitive processes. This framework allows us to classify attention heads according to their roles in knowledge recalling, KR, in-context identification, ICI, latent reasoning, LR, and expression preparation, EP, thereby elucidating how these heads interact and contribute to the overall reasoning process. Additionally, we provide a detailed summary of experimental methodologies used to explore these attention heads, distinguishing between modeling-free and modeling-required approaches, which enhances the interpretability of their functions. By focusing on the latest research and consolidating findings related to attention heads in popular LLMs like Llama and GPT, our work fills a gap in existing literature that often overlooks the operational mechanisms of these components. Ultimately, our method aims to improve the understanding of how attention heads facilitate reasoning in LLMs, guiding future research and applications in this field.
Can you break down the proposed method step by step, especially focusing on how you categorize the functions of different attention heads?
The proposed method for categorizing the functions of different attention heads is structured around a four-stage framework derived from human cognitive processes, knowledge recalling, KR, in-context identification, ICI, latent reasoning, LR, and expression preparation, EP. First, we identify attention heads that operate during the KR stage, which retrieve relevant knowledge from the model's parameters, such as memory heads that act as associative memories. Next, we analyze heads functioning in the ICI stage, focusing on how they identify structural, syntactic, and semantic information within the context, exemplified by heads like the previous head and syntactic head. The LR stage is where heads synthesize the gathered information for logical reasoning, with heads like induction head playing a crucial role in this process. Finally, we categorize heads involved in the EP stage, which align reasoning results with verbal expression, such as amplification heads that enhance the signal of correct answers. This systematic categorization allows us to understand how different attention heads collaborate across these stages to facilitate reasoning in LLMs.
Provide a concrete example that illustrates the functions of attention heads as per your proposed four-stage framework. For instance, how do the KR and ICI stages operate in practice?
In the proposed four-stage framework, the knowledge recalling, KR, and in-context identification, ICI, stages illustrate distinct yet interconnected functions of attention heads. For example, during the KR stage, certain attention heads, such as the memory head, retrieve relevant knowledge from the model's parameters, which can include common sense or domain-specific expertise. This retrieval process involves making initial guesses or focusing on specific content within the context, effectively injecting this memory information into the residual stream. In the subsequent ICI stage, attention heads utilize their QK matrices to identify key structural, syntactic, and semantic information within the input context. For instance, the syntactic head can label grammatical components like subjects and objects, while the previous head captures the embedding information of the current and previous tokens, ensuring that the model effectively understands the context before proceeding to reasoning. This collaboration between KR and ICI stages enables LLMs to synthesize knowledge and contextual information, facilitating accurate problem solving.
What advantages does your method offer in the context of interpretability of attention heads compared to existing approaches?
Our method offers several advantages in the context of interpretability of attention heads compared to existing approaches. Firstly, it focuses on the latest research findings related to attention heads in popular LLMs like Llama and GPT, ensuring that our insights are relevant and up-to-date, unlike earlier surveys that primarily covered outdated attention computation methods. Secondly, we introduce an innovative four-stage framework for LLM reasoning, which integrates cognitive neuroscience perspectives to categorize attention heads based on their functions, providing a structured understanding of their roles. Additionally, our detailed categorization of attention heads allows for a clearer analysis of how heads collaborate across different reasoning stages, enhancing the interpretability of their interactions. Finally, we present a comprehensive summary of experimental methodologies, distinguishing between modeling-free and modeling-required approaches, which lays a foundation for future research and innovation in exploring attention head functions.
How was your proposed method validated? Detail the evaluation metrics and datasets used to demonstrate its effectiveness in revealing the mechanisms of attention heads.
The proposed method was validated through two main types of evaluations: mechanism exploration evaluation and common evaluation. Mechanism exploration evaluation involved synthesizing new datasets based on existing benchmarks, simplifying problem difficulty to focus on knowledge reasoning and recalling capabilities. For instance, datasets like Toy Movie Review and Toy Mood Story were created to evaluate sentiment-related heads by calculating activation differences for positive and negative sentiments. Common evaluation aimed to enhance the overall capabilities of LLMs by modifying identified heads and observing improvements in accuracy and usefulness across four key areas: knowledge reasoning, sentiment analysis, long context retrieval, and text comprehension. The evaluation metrics included activation differences, accuracy improvements, and the effectiveness of heads in specific tasks, demonstrating the method's effectiveness in revealing the mechanisms of attention heads.
Can you summarize the key results you obtained with your method? What insights did these results provide regarding the reasoning mechanisms of attention heads in LLMs?
The key results of our method reveal that attention heads in LLMs operate through a structured four-stage reasoning process analogous to human cognitive functions: knowledge recalling (KR), in-context identification (ICI), latent reasoning (LR), and expression preparation (EP. We identified specific attention heads that excel in each stage, such as memory heads for KR, syntactic heads for ICI, and induction heads for LR, demonstrating how these heads collaborate to enhance reasoning capabilities. Our findings indicate that while many attention heads focus on ICI and LR, fewer are dedicated to KR and EP, suggesting a potential area for further exploration. Additionally, we established that heads like the truthfulness head and accuracy head significantly influence the model's reasoning effectiveness, while others, like the vulnerable head, can detract from it. Overall, these insights provide a comprehensive understanding of how attention heads function and interact within LLMs, paving the way for future research on improving their interpretability and performance.